All right, we got a good nine-ball match coming up here. It's Robbie, Capito, and Efren Reyes, the magician. It's the Derby 2023 match. And this is Josh Roberts commentating for Railbirds TV. Hope you guys enjoy. Right, looks like Robbie won the leg. This is the new rules format with the nine on the spot and everything. Tell you what, the younger players have actually already figured it out as far as the break. The nine on the spot was supposed to make it like harder to break and run out, but these guys doesn't seem to really make a difference, to be honest. All right, so here's Robbie's first break. Uh-oh. He made the wing ball and the one in the side, but he also scratched. So that's no good for Robbie starting out. Everything wide open, nothing touching. So I expect Efren to make easy work of this. All right, so the two balls down here in the lower left. Um, I like to draw around the five, but you could go in front of the five and just go toward the side pocket. I like going behind the 5-8 all the way down to the four with the draw shot. But you could follow too. Any of those is okay. I just like going around it rather than trying to go toward that side pocket. So a lot of draw and go around the 5-8 like that. And perfect execution. Nice and close to his work. All right, so he'll probably go forward here. Two rails stay inside the 8. Just like that, right inside the 8 there. Now he has the perfect angle here. He can draw straight across or go forward around the 6, whichever one he's more comfortable with. More natural going around, but the draw is easy enough as well. Little short on it. Little short on it, but he still has a natural angle to just come two rails for the 8 in the side. He made it look easy enough. Perfect shape. And he's on the good side of it to go to the 9. Oh, wait a minute. I'm missing the ball there. I'm sorry. Got some in the corner of my screen where I couldn't see that pocket. All right. Well, there he is. He's on the 8. He's on the right side of it to go to the 9. Surprised he went to that side, but that's okay. All right. Efren takes the first game. You know, on those 9-ball shots, I always like to remove the rack. I don't like to take the chance. I feel like the ball's just going to jump on me or something. I just never know. All right, so Efren's ready to break. Whoa, supposed to be break from the box. Uh, Maybe he didn't know it. Supposed to be break inside those two diamonds there, but don't look like he made a ball. Looks like the one ball can go on the side. All right, so the one can go on the side. It has a chance. Now he can draw to the rail and get above the two here. Okay, that's what he did. Except he went two rails. Good shape. Um, the 3 passes the 8, so he should be able to make the combo easily. I don't know if he can just draw straight to the 3 or whether he'll have to go back and forth. It looks like a lot of angle to me. Okay, so he just slowed it down. All right, so just float this combo in and no speed on it. You want the 3 to stay where the 6 is right now. Let your cue ball float on in there. Yeah. He let it cut it a little bit, but it's still okay. He can still make this and come back and forth in between the balls without touching anything. He put a lot of speed on it. He went a little bit too far. He's going to have to try to manufacture a safety here. It's usually pretty hard when you're this close to the ball. It takes away a lot of the table. So we'll see what he comes up with. I mean, he is close enough to the rails where you can actually kick at the 4 ball and hit it pretty accurately. Is he lining up for a bank? I don't know if he may be playing safety here and just trying to stay behind the 9. That's what he did. Nice shot by Robbie. Very nice shot. He may have left a gap in there for Efren to play safe back. Looks like there's a little keyhole in there. Yeah, there is. He's going to, well, it's an easy safety here, but you actually could shoot at the bank and play safe at the same time. But he didn't. He just chose the safety, and that's fine. If he can get through there, then he can kick at the. Okay, no, he can't get through there. He's got to go 2 rails and kick at the 4. He just has to make up his mind whether he wants to kick across it and go towards the 9 with the cue ball or hit it fat and send the 4 up table. And he hit it fat and sent the 4 up table. And the 7 ball stopped it. So now Efren will have a good opportunity at a shot or safety. I'll tell you the truth, I kind of like the shot here. Cutting the 4 in the left corner and just going around the 7 or the 5 in the lower right here. He tried it. He went 3 rails to the side pocket instead, though. He hung it. Robbie's going to have a chance to clean this one up now and tie it up. All right, so he got out above the 7. Got a little far away from it, I think, but still has a nice enough angle to just. Okay, I'm seeing the 5 ball here. Never mind. So he's on the 5. That's why he got so far away, because he's not playing for that ball. All right, so you can go to the 5, and I would stay on the inside of the 7 rather than draw on this. He looks like he's drawing it, though. Well, I guess you could go to the corner, too. I'll tell you what, when you have the more accurate shooters on the table, they're willing to take the tougher shot to swing the cue ball rather than just take the easier shot and maybe take your medicine. But that was a great shot by Robbie. He hit it good. Now he's just making this and drawing to the rail here. Was a miscue there? I think it was. I don't think he would have chose a bank on that shot. That must have been a miscue. All right, so Efren can come around up top here, or he can just float this in and stay below the 8, shoot it in the side. Yeah, that was definitely a miscue. He looked right at his tip. Okay, so he chose to come all the way around. He hit it just a little bit weak. He would have liked to have been about a foot more there to make it comfortable. Now this is definitely a little touchy. He should still make it, but he has more angle than he wanted for sure. Just coming back across the table for the 9. Oh, he hit it with speed and went to the third rail. Well, as long as you finish it out, it's okay. So Efren's going to take the second game now after Robbie's mistake. I'm seeing both guys trying to settle into that comfort zone is what's happening. You know, both of them are making, just a hair bit of a mistake here and there. And, usually that's the beginning of a match, a little bit of jitters, warming up a little bit. I would say that Efren is still doing well for his age, certainly. Um, I mean, he's doing well as a pool player, period, as far as skill level, but as far as where he was, and how long most guys can continue to play pool well, he's definitely doing well in that aspect. So, all right. Third game. Here's the break. The wing ball went down that time. One ball hit the point and kind of went back down on the rack end of the table. So he didn't end up with a shot on the one. I'm not even sure he can hit it and get out of there and get safe. He may have to push out on this. I mean, he's cutting it real thin. You're flirting with the pocket unless you can hit it thick and draw it to the rail here. Yeah. Table's not fast enough for that. I think he left Robbie a pretty good piece of it there. And if he can, he could at least kick it down the table and maybe get it below the 7. Okay, no, he did. He tried to, but he actually hit it flush and it stopped. He wanted to hit just below it where the cue ball kind of went toward the 7. He hit it too thick. All right, so the 2's hanging in the side now. But with the angle of this 1, unless he contacts the 2, he'll probably end up shooting it in that corner where the 5 is. Where he just pointed at kind of suggests that maybe he wants to go around the 2 ball. I mean, I really don't like that, but I mean, maybe he sees something I don't. That's kind of why I didn't like it, because it was very easy to hit it. He could have ended up with a worse shot than this. Um, I mean, it's makeable, but if you look at where the 3 is, he's got to do a lot to get there. And so he's either going to have to go 2 rails around the 5 with the cue ball to get out in the open, or elevate and draw this ball to the rail hard enough to get out. I don't think he can do that. I think he has to go around the 5. And that's what he tried to do. And of course, the added things he had to do to the shot made it a lot harder, a lot easier to miss the shot there. Okay, so he got a little lucky though. Looks like he's got him covered up where he can't just shoot the ball in. He's going to have to try a rail first shot. Him walking over to this corner over here was just a check to see how close it is to scratching if he makes it. And it's pretty close if he makes it. Yeah, like I said, the scratch was there. He knew it. That's why he walked over and checked it. He chose to shoot it anyway and just test it, and it's there. I wonder if it would have hit the bottom rail more if he cut it in, because you see he hit it thick right there and it still scratched. And so I wonder if that's due to slick table conditions or whether it would have still scratched. Anyway, Efren's got a nice angle to go one rail to the 5. Just going to go back toward the middle of the table, one rail. He'd like to stay on the short side of the straight in line where he's going to the 6. Okay, well, he passed it. He's going to use the rail instead. It's all preference as long as you're coming back toward the middle of the table. Now, he's going to have to hit this with some speed because he has a soft angle on it. No, this is okay. He's almost out in the middle of the table. Plenty manageable. He just see I like falling short of the straight in line on the 7, so it's easy to get to the 8 without contending with the 9. And so for this shot, he has a little bit too much angle to do that easily. He can still do it, but he has to like really drag the stroke. See where he pointed his cue? That's actually where he wanted to be. That would have made it a lot more comfortable to fall short of that straight line. And now he may have to improvise just a bit. See how he had to like use the side spin instead of a comfortable draw stroke? But in any case, he got the perfect angle to go one rail back to the 8 now. He can come all the way back to the side rail or just play the center of the table. Or he could draw it all the way to the lower rail. It's all what he's comfortable with. I like going to the lower rail personally. Side rail, lower rail. Like that. Yes. And that way you're getting a nice close look at the ball. And he has a kind of a 2-rail angle going toward the side with just high inside. He has to spin it a lot or either draw this ball. So if he's going high right, watch out for the side pocket. See that? Very, very close. Very close. But he got there and looking to take this third game after this 9 ball. Good shooting by Efren. Finish that rack up. Looks like there's a ball missing. Sometimes on these diamonds, a ball will go into the cue ball hole or sometimes get stuck on a piece of chalk. So looks like that's what's happening here.
The tournament desk is looking for Naomi Oy or Tyler Stapleton. Naomi Oy or Tyler Stapleton, please come to the tournament desk.
Still looking for that missing ball, I guess. There we go. Looks like we have all of them now. Get the game underway. All right, so Efren leading 3-0 and about to kick off the fourth game. And there he is breaking from the box this time. So I guess it's been told to him that he needs to break from the box. First rack he did not. Watch the scratch. Okay, so one scratch each there in that side pocket. And he didn't make a ball either, so even if he hadn't scratched, nothing went in. Pretty much everything is wide open there. All right, so Robbie's just going to draw it back out close to where he is now. Right? And so the three ball is he's going to play that angle the way it sits, probably just slide toward the nine ball a bit. And four balls right here by his hand, to his right, to the right of his hand there. All right. So he can shoot this with some speed and draw this back to the four in the side, or he could just kill it right there in the middle of the table for the four ball in the corner where it lays, the upper left. And that's what he's done. Got quite a bit of angle, more angle than he wanted, but it's still manageable. So a little bit of low outside English. He'll just go straight across and back out across the five to the middle of the table. Oh, he missed it. He missed it. Missed it. And that's why I suggested going all the way to the side, because of the angle he had on the three. So in any case, Efren has an easy shot on the four. He just wants to cross the straight in line of the five or fall short. Either one's fine. You just don't want to be straight. So he's gotten good to go towards the rail, or he can just draw this actually down the table. Just put the draw stroke on this and just bring it straight down like that. And he's got a nice angle to go one rail toward the seven. A little bit of soft inside English just to make sure you don't get hooked. Just like that. And he fell short of the eight as well. And he's elevated. He would have liked to have fallen a little bit short of the eight, where that's not an issue. So now, being elevated, he's gonna have to just
Can we
lag
check
this
the
ball
time,
in
please, gentlemen?
instead of hitting it with any pace. He's gonna have to just float it in because he doesn't have the bottom of the ball. So he's got to just roll it in, take the corner, and he missed it. That was a pretty big mistake. Obviously, he's not happy about it. You can tell by the body language. And Robbie has an easy three ball finish. One rail back to the center like that. And he can just draw this ball back out to the center or to the rail, either one. And he's on the board after this nine ball. That was a pretty big game by Efren to miss right there. That's for him to go up 4-0. So that's a pretty big swing there. 2-game swing, because he lost a game he was supposed to win. That's how I add it up. Whenever you lose a game you're supposed to win off a simple mistake. And I'm sure he's probably thinking it that way as well. That's kind of how pool players think as far as the games we're supposed to win. That's unforced error. All right. See if Robbie can stay out of the side pocket. All right. So he did stay out of the side pocket this time, but he didn't get a good result. Nothing on the break. And Efren has sort of a tough shot on the first shot, not just because of pocketing the ball, because I would say that that's easy enough, but getting shape, he has to draw all the way down. Okay, he went to the short side towards the pocket there. That's the touch of the magician still. So he can go one rail through the gap toward the three. He can go all the way to the side or just play for the corner. I like the side, easier to control. And so does he. All right. So he's clearing the rack now after seeing the results off of that last roll. When he played shape just now, I don't know if you guys noticed, but he got a funny little roll off the rack. And it didn't hurt him there, but you don't want it to hurt him. So the 4 is just below. He's got a little straight on this ball. He may have to force it out 2 rails or just draw it back from where it sits. Okay. Yeah, see, he had to kind of use all of the pocket and force it out there. In any case, he's got a perfect angle to just pocket this and get back out to the middle of the table. A little bit of a low outside, low left. All right. 7's right in the side, so he doesn't have to do much here. Just get off the rail. Just stay off the rail. And he's done that. And same thing with the 8. Just hit the rail and bounce back out toward the middle. Should provide an easy enough shot. A little bit of high inside. And he fell short of the straight in line, so he'll be shooting the 9 in the same pocket, I would say. Just so you don't baby it. And he's done that, and he's straight in on the 9 for his 4th game after this 9 ball. And there it is, 4-1. And the magician showing the little young buck he can still play. I'm sure Robbie probably grew up watching videos of Efren being a young Filipino and all, you know. I would like to say we all did. I mean, that's who I mentored as a kid. I wanted every time I watched Efren play, I wanted to go out on my little bar table and hit some balls and get in stroke, you know. So that's kind of how that went. Every player has a certain player that they like, and you know that kind of puts them in that mindset, that gear. And Efren always did that for me. Efren and Bustamante. All right, breaking the 6th rack. Racing a 9. He tried that break without the cut, and he got good results, but the last ball rolling had to knock that 1 in, so definitely a little bit of luck helped him out there. 2 balls set perfectly in the side pocket for a starter shot. Yeah, gotta like this. So he's going away from the 3 here. I don't know if he's going to go 2 rails back out to the center. I kind of like drawing this ball 2 rails toward the 3. I like going inside the 6 or staying inside. I may even just check draw this and just stay a little further away from the 3 to make sure the 6 doesn't even come into play here. Just, you know, like that. Yes. Because if you start coming around and adding that movement, you could go too far or too short, you know. This way is definitely better. So he got a little angle on the 3 that he didn't want, but I think he can go 1 rail on the other side of the 4 or either draw right into him as he just pointed out. You draw right into the split, and that would almost guarantee you a shot at the 4 somewhere. But if I draw over there, I'm more so aiming to hit the 9 first, not the 4, because I don't want to knock it over there, by the 7 and tie it up. So you don't want to knock the 4 over. You kind of want to hit the 9 and just maybe brush the 4 if you can help it. Yes, like that. And now he's straight in on the 4 on the side. He can draw to the 5 on the short side where he is now. Just draw back to his hand, keep a little soft angle to go to the 6 ball in the side pocket. Okay, well, he went to the other side. Either side is okay, long as you finish. Got to finish or it's no good. All right, so he's going backwards here. So he's going to play for the side coming backwards. And that's okay. Going away from the 7, but it's still where the 8 is. You don't really have to worry about it too much. Just don't make it tough. All right, so I assume he'll draw this ball a little bit, maybe back to the side or maybe a hair more, and come around 3 rails for the 9. All right, so that ball's gone. And so instead of a thick hit here trying to draw this, he'll just cut it thin into the pocket and come around 3 rails. Okay, well, he drew it instead. Well, either way is fine. I like the 3 rails myself, but coming 2 rails is definitely fine if you can control it as easy as the magician. And he's out 5-1. All right, 5-1 for Efren, and he is breaking the balls. Actually, he shouldn't be breaking those, should he? He just broke that rack. I know because I said he changed his break. He hit him dead full. He just broke that rack. He hit him dead full, and the 8 come down and knocked the 1 ball in. So actually, Efren is breaking 2 times in a row right now. It's not winner break, it's alternate. So unless Robbie just took a break and he's practicing. Is it? Oh, okay. I don't know why I always forget that. I guess it's because I play in so many different tournaments where they're alternating, and not many of them are winner break. So I just assume it's always alternate the break. Huh. All right, so Robbie's taking a break, so I guess we're waiting on him to get back. All right, so starting back up now, and Efren's break. And we'll see if he hits him dead on again or whether he uses the cut break and lets the cue ball drop into that side rail. Wow, he hit him dead full that time, and he made the wing ball. So uh, maybe they were racked a hair differently. I don't know, but he hit him dead full again, and he made the wing ball. And he's got a shot on the 1 here in that same pocket. The 2 ball is right there, so he'll just come right across it. I was thinking side pocket, but he went to the corner. He was about to move the rack there, but chose not to. I don't know why. If he has to go across it, it definitely could affect the roll of the cue ball if it's rolling slowly. But I wonder if he moves it, if he has to shoot across it for this 4 ball. So to play shape on it, he's going to have to go forward 2 rails. And that would give him the angle to play the 6 in that same side pocket. But he may have to shoot across the rack here. Oh, wait. Oh, Oh, he hit it really thick. He didn't use the whole pocket. He kind of shot it into the inside of the pocket, and the cue ball almost followed it in. I believe he still has a shot, though. I don't think he's hooked or anything, but he had to move the rack. All right, so he has, it looks like he has a soft angle to cut it slightly to his left. And if that's the case, then he should still be able to roll into position on side or corner for the 6 down towards the rack end of the table as far as the 6 ball. Wow, he actually hit the wrong side of the 4. He shot it toward the 6 instead of toward the pocket. And the way he jumped up on the shot kind of suggests that he knew he hit it bad. As soon as it left the cue ball, he knew that he did not hit it as good as he'd like to. So in any case, Robbie has a shot right there to the left, shooting the 4 past the 7. And the 6 will go in the side pretty easily off a natural roll. And he got it. And he needs to draw back a bit. If I were him, I would actually draw back past the straight in line. So basically past his hand or more, but he may stay above it. I like going past it, and so does he. That gives him the angle to go to the side rail instead of the bottom rail, which is in certain situations better for shape depending on where your ball is, and I like it here better because you're always rolling toward your shape for a long period of time where the speed of the cue ball isn't as important. So he's straight in on the 8, and he can stop there for the 9 in the same pocket. And he does. And after this 9, he'll have 2 on the board, trailing Efren. And he does. All right. Robbie looking to put together a little package here. First class mail to catch up to the magician. See what the young gun can come up with. All right, so the 1's down. It went straight in the side pocket. And the 2 went in the same side pocket. He is dead straight in on the 3 ball in that same side pocket. And so it looks like it'll be an easy enough start anyway. Okay, so he's just going to draw back to the middle of the table for the 4. That's right where he's standing. Once he moves, you'll see it. Yep. All right. Now, if it were me, I would have liked to have been straighter. I would have tried to get back out to the middle of the table a little bit more, where I'm not going across the 5 as easy, because I'd like to shoot the 5 in the side. Now, he can still control it pretty easily, but he has more angle than I would have liked. I would have liked to come another 5 or 6 inches. So I would say he's coming 1 rail in between the 5-8 to shoot that 5 ball in the side. And whether he gets straight and angle going toward the 8 or coming around, any of them are fine. He'll still be able to play shape on the 6 pretty easily. All right, so he went past it. Now he can slow roll this ball, or he can go all the way to the rail and come 2 rails back out, whichever one he likes. He could actually draw it as well. All right, so he went 2 rails back out. to straight in, so he should be able to stop here, and that provides good position on the 7 in the upper right. Okay, well, he gave himself angle, so he may be going to the 8 in the same pocket as the 7 now, since he let the cue ball float over a bit. And he rolled it perfectly, got straight on the 8. Well, he's got a little angle to go to the bottom rail. So he'll come back down the table with a little outside English. Just like this, straight down the table. And that's good shape on the 9. And that should get into 3. All right, Robbie's break. Trailing Efren 5-3. Looking to catch up. All right, the wing ball's down. Cue ball went back and forth a little bit more than normal. Didn't touch anything, but he's got a shot on the 1. All right, so he's got a nice angle to go around the 3 and come down the table for that 2 ball. It's he kind of has to go toward the corner pocket to pass the 3. Oh, okay. Maybe that's the 4 ball. I'm sorry, that's the 4 ball. Okay. I thought he's playing shape for this 4 ball. Looks like the 2 on my screen. All right, so he's got the straight in shot on the 3. He's gonna have to draw actually toward the 9 and the 6. So I'd like to hit it with enough speed to move him out of the way so you can't get hooked. Whatever you hit, you want to be able to move it. So nice draw stroke on this where it's coming down the table at a good pace. Just like that. That's right. You want to move it out of the way. And so he's done that pretty easily. Now he can go straight back down the center for the 5, or he can go behind the 7, or he could even come backwards where he is. It's all what he's comfortable with. I like going around the 7. It's more natural. Got a big window to get to the 5. And that's what he does. He went around the 7. All right, so he wants to draw back about where the cue ball is now for the 6. If he can get there, then he can stop for the 7, and that will get him all the way out. So about where he is now, if he can get there. All right, so he got it off the rail some and got a little closer, and nothing wrong with that. So he'll just kill it right there where he's straight on the 7 in the side. Okay, well, he kept a little bit of angle, so he may be playing the 9 in the same pocket he just shot the 6 instead of trying to draw backward. Just come down. And he does. And I believe he's waiting on the table next to him. Yep, that's what's going on. All right, just pocket this 9. And now he's within 1. Still trailing Efren Reyes, the magician. And we are at the Derby 2023 9-ball tournament. This is Josh Roberts commentating for Railbirds TV for those of you who are just tuning in. And I hope you guys are enjoying the show. try to make it good for the fans and even people who are not players and just generally like to watch. If you have good commentary, it helps to understand what's going on and, you know, the thinking of the player and all of that. So the more I do it, the better at it I'm getting. For the most part, it's been pretty good. People are praising it. I've had a few that don't like my style of commentary because I'm a little forward, but it's got to keep going with it. And he broke and made the wing ball. Did not get a shot on the one, so he'll be looking to push here. Looking to push out. Now, where to push out is the question. Does he push out into a jump shot? Like, where is the push out here? He could push down the table, but you maybe leave you have to kind of open yourself up to an easy safety from your opponent, or if you don't get that safety, you're risking. And yeah, it doesn't look like he got it, so Efren might give this back unless he's going to bank at it. I really don't see an easy safety here. This is not easy at all. I would give it back if I'm the magician. Now you could actually bank the one ball back and forth and draw past the three straight down the middle of the table and maybe get under the 8-9. Okay, well, I guess that works too. Not all of us would have seen that effort. Not all of us would have seen that. But great shot. All right, so he two railed it the other way, the opposite way, and just played safety. And I mean, simple enough, but just nobody thinks of that kind of safety really. All right, so he's looking to kick this ball in the side. And the angle that he has, if he puts any speed on it, he's going to be hooked on the 8-9 if he makes it. So he's really, really got to shoot this slow. Because if he doesn't, he's going to be kicking at the two ball as well. Well, he got away with it. He did not leave Efren a shot at it. Matter of fact, the hit is actually a little tough because of the way the two ball is sitting. Uh, you kind of have to either go inside the two and shorten up the kick or go around the two and lengthen it. Both of them are kind of hard to control the cue ball. As you can see from the cue ball staying obviously very close to the one. Okay, so now Robbie has a decision to make. He can bank this one ball and go two rails under and try to just play shape on the two, or he can carom the seven in, which is a little bit tougher shot, I think. And you kind of just letting the one ball fly two rails and hoping you get a shot. Personally, I like the bank. I think the bank is a lot easier to control the cue ball, and you don't have so many moving parts. So I'm going to bank and go two rails into the 8 or in between the 8-9. He went on the outside of it. So still has no shot on the 2. He's going to have to kick at it. Or actually, I guess he could jump it from here. You could jump this ball. It's jumpable. All right, so he's kicking at the side rail here. Hard to play safe this way. And he got away with it a little bit because of the position of the cue ball. He left him elevated over the 8, so a little bit harder to aim, a little bit harder to stroke the cue ball, right? Now, for the taller guys, that's not that hard, but if you're, you know, 5'9", 5'8", or shorter, this is sort of tough reaching over this ball and shooting it comfortably with comfort. So I think Efren may have taken a break. So, all right, as I was saying, he's elevated over the 8. A little bit tough to make this shot. And even if he does make, he will still have to bank the 3 cross side to get all the way out. Actually, the combo would be available, but I mean, getting over to the combo's nearly impossible. I mean, from the angle that he has, he's going away from it and he's elevated, so a lot tougher to. I like the bank. Let's just say that. If he was going to shoot at it, I like the bank. All right, so I don't know. He may have left a safety here. It looks like he can softly bank the 2 ball around the 6, maybe. Or he may be able to bank it out, and he may be able to bank the 2 ball out inside the 3 and completely miss the 3 ball on the inside, float the cue ball up on the 6. I mean, I guess the cross side bank's available too if you're comfortable with it, but I don't know. Playing 9 ball, I usually don't go for too many of these. I try to work the safeties if I can. Okay, so he kicked at it. He's got a lot more confidence in his kick than I do, I'll tell you that. All right, so Efren's gonna kick this. Is he kicking inside 2 rails around the 5 here? And he hits it full contact. And it looks like he sort of got away with it here. He didn't leave Robbie much, if anything. Now, Robbie does have an easy safety. Look like he can shoot the 2 through the gap in between the 8, 9 and float right up on the 8. And just kind of leave the cue ball near the bottom rail here. And I think I like that better than anything. It's just the easiest option. Oh, kind of shorted it a bit, didn't he? I'm not sure if the ball skidded right there or table conditions made that happen. But normally that cue ball would have, for as far as the 2 ball went, that cue ball should have gotten at least to the 8. I don't believe it did, though. I think Efren can see a piece of it, and I don't know if he's going to cut it in or whether he's just going to hit it thicker and put it on the bottom rail. Play safe. Okay. So he played safe, but he left the ball out where Robbie can play safe back. So Robbie will be kind of banking this toward the 5. Well, on the inside of the 5 ball toward the right rail, and cue ball going over to the left rail using the 8, 9, 5 as blockers. That's what I would be doing. Okay. Now, I'm not sure if he left a little spin kick around the 8 ball here, or whether Efren has to kick long rail. He is kicking long rail. He's going to go 2 rails probably, just because it makes it a bigger ball. So top rail, side rail, and then the 2 ball. Yes, like that. All right, so he's giving up the shot that Robbie was looking for. Now, Robbie is not out yet. This is not automatic. Look at the 6 and the 7. They don't automatically go, and where the 3 is, you have to get dead straight on it to play the 6 in the same pocket or bank it, or he's not completely out from there. So he's got to shoot the 2, 3, and then the 5 is down here below the 9, and then he'll have to get on that 6 ball, which, like I said, is not automatic. It's there, but it's not automatic. So we'll see what he does. Now, I'm assuming the reason why he did that is because he didn't think he could get on the 3 where he was getting on the 5 easily. And so now he's really doesn't have a choice. He's just going to have to thin the 3 ball, push it under the 6, and float down on the other side of the 7. That's the only safety that I see. Now, I want to say that he was trying to draw fully into that 6 and just move it so shape wouldn't be hard, and hopefully that would have given him a better angle to go to the 5 off the 3, but that didn't happen. And so I think he's just going to have to thin the 3 ball and get a rail here. I don't know what he was doing there. I don't know if that he could make it and just hit it that bad, or was he? I don't know what he was trying there. I have to be honest. I don't know what that was. All right, so he's got a combo on the 3-7 here. He's got to be careful because if he hits it with any speed, you lose the 3 ball. It gets away from you, and if you roll it, then you kind of get where you're funny on top of the 6. So you have to hit it like perfect speed. And I like what he did. Notice he went on into the 7, I mean the 6, and that gave him a little bit of separation. But this is still not no hanger, and the 6 plays a part. It's in the way. It's in the way to stroke it comfortably. And so now Efren has to elevate to draw across the top of this 9-5 and still hit it with enough soft speed stroke where he can kill it on that side to shoot it in the corner. Unless he just goes into him here and just kind of hopes he gets a better look. Oh, wow. It didn't look like he could get past it that easily. Maybe my eyes are fooling me. All right, so two rails back out to the center of the table. Uh, and he'll be shooting the 6 from the center of the table. He'll just come back across to the right side of the table for the 8 where it sits. 2 rails. Not too much speed. You want to be able to reach it. Uh-oh. Oh, he's gotten. He, he looks almost froze to the ball. If he's not froze, he looks definitely very, very close to it. Now, if he's not frozen, he may be able to make this with cutting it in. If he is frozen, then forget about it. Play safe. All right, so I guess Efren just chipped it and giving Robbie the opportunity to play safe, which he'll have. He can actually cut the 6 ball with enough speed to get to the top rail there and go 1 rail around the 9. I think he's hitting it too thick, thinner. All right, so he's giving up a shot here to the magician, and he doesn't have a lot of angle, but he may have to go ahead and force it with some speed. It's either that or hit it with some high inside to come back down the table, because his cue ball is actually going away from the shape of the 8. So He's gonna have to go with it, I would say, and go 2 rails back down to the right rail. Oh, he missed it. Trying to use inside. He missed it trying to use inside. That was a big shot. Now, even though he's left Robbie a shot and it's the right angle to come 2 rails back down here, this is no hanger. This is a far away, almost length of the table shot. Nicely hit by Robbie. He hit that beautifully. He got a little straight in on this 8. May have to force shape to get up to the good side of the 9, or he's gonna have to shoot the 9 down here in the on the break end of the table. Just stop below it and shoot it up table. Okay, well he drew it out. I don't blame him. Nobody likes seeing that long shot, especially when you're still down, which he'll be even after that. So 5-5, racing to 4 now. Robbie's break. All right, here's the break. 5-5 now. No trailing going on. And Robbie has to feel a new little bit of motivation being down that far and then catching up. Seems like he had nice power on it, but I don't believe anything went. Nope. No, nothing went. Stuff tried to go, but Efren's at the table. He almost hit that too soft, but I think this is manageable. It looks like the 3 passes, and if it does, it looks like he can go forward and just. Oh no, wait, no, it doesn't pass. It does not pass. Excuse me. He's looking at the carom cue ball off the 3, play the 9. Well, I'd say he's going under the 9, under the 3-9, where he's just laying on the bottom rail here to make that carom easier. Yeah, I think he would have liked to have been about 2 or 3 inches lower. From here, he may have to manufacture a little bit. I want to say that he's just playing the 9. But he's actually has a decent little safety. He can just cut the 3 toward the 8 and lay on the rail. Okay. Well, obviously, he didn't feel like he could do that because of the shot that he chose to get it there. Suggested that he couldn't do it, and I'm just seeing things. He's got a couple of little shots. As long as he goes across or under it, it should provide a safety. If he goes under it, the 3 is going toward the 7-6, and the cue ball is going like toward the 9. Much better chance of making it long rail. A nice hit. He's left it tough for Efren. He's got some angle, but not much. And it's a length of the table shot. But if he hits it good, he'd like to float down just past the 5 where the 4 is easy enough to pocket. And from then, it's kind of off to the races. All right, so no good there. That's a miss. And a very funny spot as far as running out. I don't think he can. Table just from here just doesn't like you running out. He actually did pretty well with it. He shot in the side. I didn't really think he could get in that gap. He did pretty good. Um, Now Efren looks like he has to shoot this 3 past the 5, and I think it goes. I can't really tell. It's close. It's definitely close. I don't think he has the angle to shoot it in the side and go around the 6-7. I don't think he can do that. Doesn't look like he has that. Wow, what a shot. Great shot. He drew it the other way. Went inside the 7. Yeah, that's a very nice shot. I'm surprised I didn't see that as a more of a better shot. And he bumped the 8. I think he's still okay though. I think the 6 passes the 7 in the corner, and it definitely goes in the side. So if it goes in the corner, he's just looking to feather this ball with a touch of outside English and just come about halfway. And he didn't like that. He liked the side, so he's coming to the bottom rail here. And he played good shape on it, and it's natural to shoot the 7 in the same side or the opposite side. Either one's fine. I like shooting the 7 in the same side. That way you don't have to baby the 6 ball. Oh, he missed it. He missed it. He's left it tough for Robbie because even if he makes the bank, he has to go under the 7. So he still have a tougher shot on the 7. Now, if he banked the 6 and he got it to go along the side rail there, he could shoot the 7 in the opposite side. But you're also flirting with a scratch doing that as well. So you have to be careful of that. Is he playing a safety here? Just going up the table? No, he shot at it. I never like to hit those banks hard like that. It always makes it harder to make. So now Efren has an easy 4-ball out here. It's back out to the middle. And the 8's just sitting in the hole there, so that's easy enough. All right, so Efren finished this rack after these 2 balls. He'll go to 6 real quick. All right. Efren looking to get his 7th game. This is rack 12. He had pretty decent results off the last couple of breaks. Let's see what he does here. All right, well, he hit him head on the same way this time. Did not get one to fall. And Robbie is going to have a shot. He's actually almost straight on the 1. But the cue ball is on the rail, so a little bit tougher position for Robbie. He may go to the side rail and go 2 rails back over toward the 4. Okay, he went to the bottom rail, 2 rails in between the 7, 8. Wow, what a shot. What a shot. Uh, yeah, exactly that had to happen for him to. I mean, any one of those things, if you bumped a 7 on accident or something, who knows? You may not even get a shot. All right, so he's played shape on the 3, and he's got a nice shot to just shoot it up in the corner and just shoot it with a bit of follow. That'll get the cue ball back out towards the middle of the table, and that should make it easy enough to get back to the 5 because he'll have a good amount of angle on the 4. right. So now he can just draw this one rail past the side. I would say I would like to hit right in between the diamond past the side and the middle diamond. So just in between those with the cue ball is ideal for me. And he does hit about in between those, and it landed for perfect shape. So he can just he's got a slight angle going toward the rail, but he can just kill it there with some low. All right. So he can draw this or go two rails back in between the 8-9 for the side pocket. I like the draw personally. Keep you away from traffic. And he got there. And he can go forward or come backwards a bit to shoot the 8 in either corner. Looks like he's drawing it instead. Oh, he drew it to the side pocket. Okay. Well, I guess that's okay too. All right, so now 6-6 after this 9 ball. And this is looking to be a pretty close match. All right, game 13, Robbie breaking, looking to break this tie, take the lead for the first time in the match. All right, there's the break. He wiggled that wing ball in, and he's got a shot on the one. It's not automatic, but it is a good look at it. And yeah, he's got a nice shot on it. So the problem here is from the 2 to the 3 because of where the 3 is, and that 9 ball is blocking a lot of the table. You can't get to it from any place on the table. It's a little bit funny. So he's going to have to go. He'd like to be able to get straight in or on the side where he's going to the right rail for the 2. And he got dead perfect straight in. You couldn't ask for better than that because that was like super tough shape. If he gets angle going 2 rails, then he has to contend with that 9 ball. He got dead straight where he could just draw past everything, past the 8, and not touch anything. And so that's perfect. All right. So 1 rail to the 4, side or corner's fine. All right, so he's got himself a little bit of an angle going to the side rail if he wants to draw, but he can go forward here. He can go forward to the top rail and get the angle that he likes. If he draws it, he's going to have to hit the side rail, go back out to the middle of the table. And that's what he chose to do. And he overcooked it just a little bit. So he's going to have to go 2 rails now for position on the 6. His cue ball will be going 1 rail past the side on the left and then back out toward the middle to pocket the 6. So right rail, left rail past the side, and then back out to the middle. Just like that. Okay, so looks like he's real close to the 6 ball. And when you're this close, then you can kind of create the angle that you want. Looks like he's just going to draw it back, though. Just draw it back, bounce off the rail. And that's what he's done. Hit it with a nice low right hand English stroke to spin it back out close to the 8. Stop shot here for the 9. And Robbie is going to take the lead against the Magician. 7-6 after this 9 ball. All right, here's the next break. All right, the 1 went down, the wing ball stayed up, and look at this 2 ball to dress right up and get right perfect for the combo. Even if the wing ball didn't hang up, he would have still been straight on the 2, so that's ideal. It's always good to have an easy shot on the starter ball. That definitely looks promising. It looks promising for a nice package. All right, so he's just got to softly roll this combo in and keep the 2 ball intact where he can pretty much go where he wants with the 3, which I would recommend side pocket. Looks pretty good. Just depends on how the 2 ball sets after pocketing the 5. So just be very, very careful. Okay. All right, so he's gotten, yeah, I would say a very light movement on the cue ball here. I'm going to draw this cue ball. Looks like he's going for the corner and shooting the 3 ball in the same corner. But I really don't like that. I kind of like staying below the 3 ball where you could shoot in the side and go forward off the side pocket. All right, so he's left himself a lot of angle on this 3. It's still makeable, and it does carry a shape if you hit it with a nice little draw stroke. You'll draw past this piece of chalk down here on the rail. So, I mean, it carries good shape. It's just that, for a right-handed shooter, you're not really looking at the pocket. It just kind of takes away the whole table when you have to cut it like this. It's manageable, but it's just tougher. All right, so he hit it well. He drew past the side pocket pretty easily. And he's back in line now. 6 balls hanging up there in the corner, so no issue there. He just has to figure out how he wants to go to the 8 off the 7. And I would say don't do anything extra. I would say make the 6 and stay close to the rail where you can shoot the 7 and get out to the middle of the table with a soft cut. I wouldn't try to come to the side pocket or anything here. Um, I'm just going one rail inside English and sticking close to that rail. I don't like swinging the cue ball into traffic and all of that. I'm going to take out some of the moving parts. He may be going around though. It's a good shot, just a bit unnecessary. Now he does have a soft angle for the corner where he has to like punch it. He has to hit it with some speed to get off the rail for the 8, or he can shoot it in the side with a draw stroke and kind of stun it a little bit out to the middle of the table. So it's all in what he's comfortable with. So he did that. He drew it over, but he actually drew it a bit too much. To now making the 8 is a little shaky. I think he should still make it, but having to cut it this much where you're not actually looking at the pocket, where you can't see the pocket in your peripheral, it always makes it harder. All right, so he's just drawing this ball low outside, across the top of the 9 and back over, shooting the 9 in the opposite pocket. Okay, well, he killed it. He killed it. He hit it very nicely. He killed it and stayed on that side. So good shot by Robbie. About to go up 8-6 after this. And it's gone. 8-6 for Robbie Capito. And turned it around pretty good, I might add. I mean, he was down 4-1 at one point, and it should have been really 4-0. Efren was supposed to win the game before and missed an easy 7 ball, I think it was, to let Robbie get that game. So, and Robbie also miscued on an easy 7 ball to turn that mistake back over. So it may have worked itself out, but I don't know. I always just think about, my mistakes. I try not to think about my opponents. You can't control his, only yours.
Justin Martin to the tournament desk, please. Justin Martin to the tournament desk.
All right, so here we go. Robbie Capito breaking on the hill against the magician Efren Reyes. And again, this is Josh Roberts commentating for Railbirds TV for those of you just tuning in. And the wing ball and the 1 ball went. Now, the wing ball didn't go straight in. It kind of got bumped in with another ball, but the point is he made 2 of them. Doesn't have the greatest shot, but he does have a combo here. And I think he'll take it, to be honest, the way it's laying. It doesn't really look like the safety lays good to me. I guess he could try and play safe and bank the 2 in between those balls back up the table, and he could spin it with inside and maybe get below the 6 and the 9. But I don't know. Some just tells me he wants to go for this combo, and safety is sort of an issue to play. Really, it's not easy at all to play safe here. I mean, you can. It's just not easy. Just the way it's laying, I mean, it almost looks like he's at a stop shot to make the combo as far as how the cue ball's lined up. It's pretty close. Oh, he's taking the push where he can play safety. Look at this guy playing smart, huh, against the magician. Well, Efren's going to shoot this. Now, I don't know whether he's going to cross the 2 ball in between the 5-6 and below the 9 and let the cue ball go in between the 3-6 and back out up the table. Okay, so Efren gave it back. So that's Robbie's option, is to cross the 2 or either cut it into the 3 and come use the 9-6 as blockers that way. And that's what he tried to do. Looks like he's done it a little bit, but he's left Efren the bottom of that ball where at least Efren might be able to play a simple safety, just hit the 2 ball as thick as he could and get a rail below the 3. And if he can't do that, then he's going to go for the carom, trying to make the 3, just thin the 2 ball and try to make the 3 with the cue ball. So it's all in what he's comfortable with, what he likes. He's putting right English on that ball. I think he's going for the safety. And he did go for the safety. And he's got it somewhat. He's only hooked by a little bit, and it is a short kick. I don't expect it to be a no-hit, but Efren may get a sellout out of it, which is, almost as valuable as a ball in hand. If you get an ideal shot to finish the rack, it's okay. It looks like he's aiming to kick it past the 6. I don't know if he's going to hit it soft and try to maybe use the 6 for a blocker and the 8. Or, I mean, this is a little bit tough. Cue ball's not going to stay behind the 6 unless he aims it really high and draws it. To get past the 6, it has to cut a little bit. So let's see what he does. He's not drawing it, so the cue ball's definitely not going to stay there. Wow, very nice hit by Robbie. Kicked it and cut it down the table a bit. And now Efren will have to do some magician-like stuff to get out of this. Now, I wonder if he could hit the 2 ball as thick as he can and drop to the bottom rail and spin through the gap in between 6-3. I don't know if you guys see that, but it looks like he has a thick enough hit to do that. If he can't make it, I don't know. From the dead center, you can't really tell when they get these angles if he could actually make it or not. And so he stayed away from the traffic, but he basically did the same thing. And I think he left a keyhole to maybe shoot at least at the ball. Who knows? Robbie is a straight shooter. He may even try to cut this ball in, being that the safety is an automatic, because I don't see an automatic safety here. This is not a no-brainer where you can just automatically get safe here. Can't get up under enough to kick it past the 3, so that's no good. Now maybe it could go off the 3 and maybe go in if he's trying to do that. But I would say that if he has a half a ball hit or more, that he should take his cue ball back toward the 8 and use the 8-9 as blockers, say if the 2 ball kind of went towards the pocket a bit. Putting inside on it, so he must be hitting rail first. Oh, he cut it straight in. Oh my gosh. Wow, what a shot that was. That deserves a highlight reel. What a shot. Wow. Whew. Cut the paint off of that ball. That's what I like to say. You make a thin cut, I say, man, you cut the paint off of that ball. I think I still see a little blue on the cue ball there. All right, so he's cutting this one in two here, I think. Maybe a inside English outside, either one. But inside would keep him out of traffic. He could go straight back down the table where he is. Okay, so he's just looking at everything. Does have a safety where he can go inside, cutting the short side of 3 ball, going back out 2 rails. Okay. All right, so he played a simple safety with the magician. The only problem with this is Efren is so good at these 2 rail kick in behind the ball. I wouldn't be surprised to see him 2 rail kick this ball in between the 5 and the 6 down the table and like flow towards the spot and like just put him, where he can't make it. I mean, he's got a pretty big gap down in between that 5, 6. I think he kicks behind it easily. Let's see what he does. Look at this. Look at this. See, that's the problem with playing that kind of safety is you leave him an easy hit to now the control for him is somewhat easy instead of just making a hit. All right, so is he just thinning this ball? He's just gonna bank this ball to the right rail and come over and try to use that ball down there to hide. Oh, he thinned it. He thinned it. Okay. Did he leave a gap? Okay, no, he didn't. He didn't. Efren may have to jump this one. Now he does have a kick on it 1 rail in between the 8, 9, and he does have a 2 rail kick going the opposite way. But the jump shot looks available where he could jump it and just bank the 3 back down the table. No, he's not interested in that. He's gonna kick this ball 1 rail and maybe kick across it. Oh, he tried to. He tried to. Look at this. Is he gonna get lucky? Nope, he didn't get lucky. Okay. All right. So the table's wide open now. He's got the 3 ball sitting right there in front of him. The 5 balls in between the sides. So whichever one he likes, he can shoot the 3 ball in the corner and just stun over to the rail, shoot the 5 down here in the lower right, or you could come back toward the side pocket area and pocket the 5 in the side. Okay. Well, he went towards the other side pocket. And I don't know if he got straight enough to kill it right there. Or is he going to have to do more with the cue ball? He may be able to kill it right there. And if he can't, then he'll draw it and get under the 6 maybe. Okay. Well, he still had enough to get over the 6, but that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. He's a little too far away from it to cue it up normal. He's going to have to bridge it. And I don't know. I'm pretty bad at the bridge, so I don't try anything with the cue ball here. I just kind of make the 6 and kill it right there and take a sort of a tougher shot on the 7 rather than trying to come across and get perfect. 'Cause coming across the table with the bridge is nearly impossible for me. Yeah, for me, if I did that, I'd have to be happy with that. I would definitely have to be happy with that because my bridge dart stroke the normal way is definitely terrible. But in any case, last 3 balls, and he's got a nice angle to come 2 rails back to the 8. And he's looking like he's going to finish this match right here and now. He's drawing this ball instead of going forward. Okay. Well, leaves the 8 a bit longer. Going the 2 rails, he could have shortened that up a little bit. But he's still straight in on the 8, and all he has to do is just make it from here, and he should be home free. Robbie to take it 9-6 after these 2 balls made. And he got the 8. I assume he'll get the 9. And there it is, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed. Josh Roberts commentating for Real Birds TV, and tune in for the next one.